Warriors, I was thinking about you, but I was thinking about you with me in mind back in my anxiety disorder days. And one of the consistent habits that took place in my life was the fact that I was always blaming other things for my anxiety. But the truth was, my friends, that when I started to heal, no longer was I pointing the finger outwards, but I was pointing the finger inwards. Because what tends to happen is when we run into a situation that tends to trigger us and activate the sympathetic system, causing us to feel that rush of adrenaline, causing us to feel the symptoms that we're feeling. Back in my anxiety days, I was afraid of that. I didn't want that. I begged God every single day saying, please take it away from me. But God said, you know what? You have a role to play in this as well. And it wasn't until I played that role that I started to heal myself. As mentioned, I pointed the finger inwards. Often, my friends, with anxiety sufferers, they are very afraid to look at the very thing they have to look at. They don't believe that their anxiety could be caused by PTSD. PTSD being triggered because of traumas that continue to replay themselves in the body physiologically. PTSD isn't a psychological issue as much as it is a physiological issue. So when you feel those symptoms, when you feel the disease, the illness, whatever is creeping up to you, you have to go, you know what? Where's this coming from? This isn't randomly happening to me. Anxiety is no accident, right? The people, the circumstances, the uncertainty, the unfamiliar, the unknown, whatever it is that's causing the sensitivity and causing the anxiety is a blessing. It's a blessing, and it's time for you to see that. Because if you continue to react to your anxiety and the situations that you encounter in the same way, you're going to receive the same thing, right? And that's called more anxiety. But the truth is that the moment you look at your inner child who's creating the anxiety, the moment you look at your ego, right, and you start to go, today I'm going to think beyond your guidance. No longer am I going to look for retribution. No longer am I going to look to run away from the very thing that I'm afraid of. No. Today's the day where I become a true warrior and I defy your orders. I defy the orders coming from my anxiety symptoms to run and hide. I defy the orders coming from the headache that says, you know what, you're still holding on to all that trauma and unforgiveness from the past. No. Today's the day where I forgive myself for those past mistakes. How powerful and how quickly can change happen in a person's life. They can happen right away, right here, right now. You just have to decide. You have to decide and say, you know what, not for another second. Not for another second am I going to blame my circumstances. Not for another second am I going to blame my past. Because what happened to me needed to happen to me in the way it did so that I could learn what I need to learn. Once you learn what you're supposed to learn, and once you no longer are led by the ego-centered prison called anxiety, you begin to feel at ease. But it takes courage, my friends. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to step out of your normal reactions and into a world of responding. Responding to fear, responding to anger, responding to circumstances and saying, you know what? I'm no longer going to fight for control. No. If I lose control of this situation, then I trust in the process. If I move myself in the world of the unknown, then I'm curious what's going to be there awaiting me. This is how it was when we were children. right? We weren't looking for a future that we hoped would take place. No. We were going on that field trip and we said, Mommy, Daddy, I can't wait to go on this field trip. I don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know who I'm going to run into. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited, right? You'd go to the playground, right? And when you went to the playground, you weren't nitpicking, saying there's too much sand. No. You weren't saying the swings are too high or too low. No. You weren't looking for the fear. You weren't looking for the threat in the playground as we do as adults. Imagine an adult going and playing on the playground, right? Having generalized anxiety. You're going to go, well, that's a little bit dangerous. That's a little bit uncertain. I don't know what's going to take place there. I feel like people are going to make fun of me. I'm an adult. I shouldn't do that. Yada, yada, yada. Stop. Just stop. And when you allow yourself to stop, you can be childlike again. And you can move through your life experience with a sense of curiosity and wonder. My friends, starting today, understand that any anxiousness that broods within you is a lesson that needs to be learned, and more so, it has something to do with the unworthiness of feeling better. It has something to do with the unforgiveness that you haven't attached to yourself yet, because none of this was your fault. The traumas that continue to replay through your body were not your fault, but they are your responsibility to heal. And healing begins with the right mindset, my friends. So today, we take responsibility. We are no longer led and guided by the ego-centered prison. We are no longer guided by that fearful, afraid inner child within us that went through experiences that were difficult. Very, very difficult. You're still here. You're here. You should be proud of yourself for being here. The courage to go through an anxiety disorder. The courage to heal generational traumas. The courage to look at your fears and say, not for another day. It's today where I defy these fears. And we don't do it through willpower. We do it through understanding, knowing that if we run the same patterns, we're only going to receive the same outcome. Starting today, you're no longer anxiety. Starting today, anxiety is something that you will continue to heal and understand more deeply and defy at every turn, showing yourself and showing your body that this world is safe. And you can move through this world and all the uncertainties within it in a safe manner. My friends, you get to decide who you become. Bring your symptoms along. Bring your mental chatter along. Bring it all along. But never allow it to stick, starting today. Remember, you are more than anxiety. Comment below on the greatest epiphany that you received from this video, and I'll see you very, very soon. I love you. Bye-bye.